Hello, everybody. We are back with everyone as it should be. Everyone in their place. Welcome to Penny for a Tale. My name is Mitchell, and I am the host for the show, along with these amazing, wonderful people we have joining us. I will let them introduce themselves, starting with Meleah on my right.
Hello, I'm Meleah. I'm on the right. I technically have a Twitch. Haven't really set it up yet, so I say that every show. That's my thing. I have a Twitter. I have one tweet tweeted. That's it. I just show up here a lot.
Wild ride.
All right,
I don't know
Ian.
who's next. Am I next? Okay. Well, my name is Ian. I do the Pathfinder's Hell's Rebels campaign here on this channel every Sunday. We're level 10, and it's kind of dope. That's all I do.
It is dope. Check it out.
Hi, I am Alex Roth. You can find me here. My Twitch handle is Sailor Taco Cat. I don't actually post anything, just this. But you can find me there, and Sailor Taco Cat, I believe, for my Discord or just Facebook. But yeah.
Woo! Make sure to check them out. Awesome stuff as normally. We would like to thank our awesome people who keep this whole thing going. So we're going to go to the credits. Dun, 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 dun.
Are you
Trying to get me
your
in.
name's on that? Alex, your name's above mine. Oh, we're so.
Oh, I support myself.
It's awesome stuff. I mean, we'd also like to thank Victor Wallace, Alex Roth, Cinepod. Did I say that right? I feel like I did.
No.
Cinepod.
No.
Anything of mine correct?
No.
No, it's the first time. Daniel Overstreet and Rebecca Thatcher for supporting us as always. Thank you. We cannot do this without you guys. If you're interested in getting on that list, if you looked at that and were like, man, I want my name on those awesome credits, feel free to pop over to our Patreon. Otherwise, you can support us on Facebook or here on Twitch. Rate and subscribe.
That no.
Yeah, that was awful. I tried
No.
it out, and I will never do it again.
No. Not even for cartel.
No. That was just weird.
Okay, Alberto.
Alberto looking ass.
Next week, if you're interested in such shenanigans, we will be playing Cartel, as well as a new game on Monday with a completely different group than the one that you are seeing right now. We will be playing The Witch is Dead, run by our very own Spence. You've seen her on the channel before. But feel free to check us out this Monday coming up, as well as Tuesday for Cartel, as we continue on with the shenanigans of local cartel. So,
Meth.
huh?
That's all you need to know. All you need to know about is meth.
There's meth involved.
Here's that.
Now, without further gilding the lily, we are going to hop into Kult's Black Divinity.
Black Madonna?
Yeah, did I?
You said Black Divinity.
Yeah, you said Black Divinity. Cult Divinity, Black
Kult.
Madonna.
Kult Divinity Lost Black Madonna campaign.
What dice do we use, Mitchell? What dice do
We use 2d10s for cults. In the past, we've used 2d6 as a custom with most Powered by the Apocalypse games. It really wanted to get everyone to feel the
Cold hard mode.
direness.
yeah,
You're just playing hardcore mode.
yeah, like you were
Yeah.
drowning with
Permanent
weight,
death was. Yeah.
not able to get a success.
Good
Yeah.
intro.
Yeah. So if this is your first time hopping on to this cult session, feel free to watch the first video on YouTube. That's pretty much all we can help you out with. Otherwise, this game is set in Germany, just right after the Berlin Wall have fallen. And it central or focuses on this group of people: Sabine Davis, married to Wes Davis, and Hans
Freitag.
Freitag. Why don't you guys reintroduce your characters to everyone, and then we'll hop right in.
Starting with Meleah.
Yep, always with
Wait.
Meleah.
I don't like
Right.
this. I never start first. I don't know what to share about my character without revealing too much.
Just like what does she look like? What
Name.
would someone name? What would someone think of her on and just by walking by her?
Sabine Davis is person. Sorry, Sabine Davis is in like her mid-20s. Has a kid. Is married to Wes Davis, I guess. She probably doesn't go out too often, or else you wouldn't notice. She tries to keep under the radar. That's basically it. So she'll dress down to stay under the radar as well.
All right, Wes Davis.
He's muted.
Yeah.
He's muted.
Oh, my bad. So, Wes Davis. He's an American, but he doesn't ever really plan on going back to America. He likes Germany, and he's a family man. He's got a kid here. Wesley is a chain smoker. So he's got like that so basically he looks young for his age, all except for his skin. And he's got blonde hair, sort of swept back, green eyes. And he thinks he's slowly losing his mind. So he keeps quiet and sticks to his work.
Right on. Hans Freitag is 6 foot, maybe 6'1". He is fit. He has short dark hair and dark eyes. He is Caucasian. He is kind of gruff in appearance, quiet, but he'll keep to himself, and he is usually dressed very casually and is just an average German. Doesn't do anything weird. Has nothing going on. It's all good. It's fine.
Everything's great.
Great.
So you guys have had a pretty intense couple of days, to say the least. Why don't you say what was your, and from your character's point of view, what was the most important thing or potent thing that occurred, the thing that sticks in your memory the most?
Starting with me.
Yeah, go ahead, Sabine.
At first, it was finally meeting Sabine's biological mother, Magda Orlova. And then she had a nightmare later that night that was pretty traumatizing. That is kind of just lurking now, and that's all she can really think about. That's it.
Well, for some reason, Wesley seemed to not have any of his demons come out lately. Usually he's known to have night terrors, but for some reason they've stopped. He's got no idea why they happen, and he doesn't even remember any of them at all. But judging by the evidence, it looks like he gets really violent in his sleep, and he's got no idea why, but he refuses to seek help for it. And now that the symptoms have gone away, hopefully things are looking up, but he's not very optimistic. So
Hans has had a dream episode of his past, specifically a very horrible memory of losing someone he loved very much to a disease that he is still having issues reconciling. It's something that he has not found much information of, and it has horrified him since, and he's always concerned that he might have gotten it, or it might be latent, and his recent fever as well as being chased has gotten him a little scared.
And rightfully so. So as everyone who has seen this channel before, and just as a reminder for the players, the X card is, of course, always in effect. For those who don't know what that is, the X card is whenever someone feels uncomfortable, whether it's the viewer or any of the players. For the viewer, feel free to take a 5-minute break. If you come back, most likely the situation will have been changed. Otherwise, just come back at a later point in time. For the players, they know how to contact me. And if we ever come across something that they feel uncomfortable about, we will skip over and not talk about the subject again. We like to cultivate a nice and safe environment while we play role-playing games, especially those that deal with more serious issues. And the X card, we feel, does that pretty well. So just as a reminder, if anything, I'm always available on Facebook, Gmail, however you want to communicate to me that you are feeling uncomfortable. The X card is, of course, in effect. So when we last left you, Hans, you were walking down the street, nervously moving down just as the sun started rising above the large buildings here in Hamburg. Just after you spent a night at a friend's house. Friends.
Spend the night.
Regardless, the fever, even though it's been a couple hours, hasn't gone down. In fact, there's a slight itch in some of your around the neck a little bit, maybe a little itchy part around your stomach, kind of on the left side.
My face.
A little bit on your face there. Right there. But nothing noticeably shows the cause of it. There's no mosquito bite. There's no flakiness of the skin. It just feels irritated and somewhat sensitive. Nonetheless, what are you doing now? You have this odd feeling that someone's watching you.
I think last game I had determined that there was a van or something following me, correct? Because I feel like I ducked down an alleyway or something. That was where it kind of left off.
You did, yes. There was a van down the street, which you have the suspicion might have something to do with you.
Okay. He would be heading home. And although this kind of goes against what he has been taught and what he would normally do, he's not feeling so great. He wants to get back. He has all of his papers there, and he would like to just get back and figure out what's going to happen. So he would continue walking back to his apartment, being careful to negotiate alleyways, and ducking into places to try and ditch whatever van or whatever car is following him and tailing him.
So you go down several alleyways, your shoes splashing against the most recent puddles created by the rain. In all your years and the activities that you have done in your past, it has never been more easy to lose a tail than now. You go down a couple alleyways, pick up speed in one, move through a crowd, and there's no sign of it. The rest of the trip is uneventful. You peer behind you every now and then, and sometimes you see a glimpse of what could be the van, but no, it's just another vehicle, maybe similar, but you notice the license plate is different, different driver, or at least different build of the driver. And you come back to what I believe is an apartment, correct?
Yes, it is a very cheap apartment. probably one out of a dozen in this, whatever row home that he is currently renting. So when he gets there, if nobody, there's nothing that stops him, he would go up, he would go in, he would kind of take notice of the hallway and the things around him to see if anything was disturbed, see if there was anyone possibly already in his apartment, because that is what he is thinking. He is thinking that he is that there's just going to be somebody in his apartment about ready to gank him.
All right. You move up the stairs, creaking along as you do. Other than several pieces of mail sticking out of the slot on your door, nothing is different than when you last left.
Okay. He would enter his apartment, kind of, do a quick look around, make sure that nobody was there, nothing had been touched, and he would lock the door, prop a chair against the door, just, and then go to the sink to wash his face and kind of take account of how he's feeling and how gross he feels.
It's fair. As you kind of move in, the stack of mail kind of flops down and into the inner side of the apartment. You do notice that there is one envelope that looks like it's already been opened, most likely by a letter opener. It's crisp, it's clean, it's not torn open, so it almost didn't catch your eye.
Okay. He would notice this, and if he wasn't already wearing his leather gloves or a pair of gloves, he would put them on and gingerly pick up the letter and examine it.
Looking it over, it's stamped in a way that suggests that it is sent from within the city.
Is it addressed to Hans?
It
Or
is.
It
It is
okay.
addressed to Hans.
Okay.
Furthermore, there's no return address, so most likely dropped off, or maybe someone paid the mailman himself. But the contents are gone.
So it's just an envelope?
Yep, just the envelope.
The way his name is it written like with a ink pen, a ballpoint pen? What type of script is on it?
Kind of like the old-fashioned script.
Okay. He'll sniff it. I'm gonna sniff it. It's anthrax. He's dead.
So it brings to mind images of comfort, almost familiarity. Smells like someone close to you, in fact.
Well, that's weird. Smells like bread. He would kind of look at it and put it on his nightstand and take off his shirt and start to, get washed up and cleaned off and that type of stuff. He's thinking about it, though.
Get ready for the day.
Get ready for whatever's left of the day.
There is. All right, so we'll hop on over to the lovely parents, Sabine and Wes, who are currently enjoying some time, I believe, with their son out in the park.
Yeah, I just got there.
How's Wes
Meta.
doing with all of this? As he stares.
Is he frozen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think...
Oh, that poor guy.
Wes is ignoring Sabine, probably. I don't know.
There he goes. Welcome back.
Hi. He's back.
All right, so how's Wes doing? Seeing Sabine come join him at the park?
Fine. Just quiet. Feeling better over his corner of the park, though.
It'd be funny if you kicked her out. Fuck off, bitch.
So what do you say, Sabine, when you see Wes?
I'll probably just be like, no. I like a gentle wave and then go and play with Henry, probably. Just get her mind off of stuff. Acknowledgement.
Like the bare minimum required to acknowledge another human
Yeah.
presence.
Yeah. Just enough.
We've all been there. It's winter time, no?
Yeah. It's chilly outside. Henry most likely
Yeah.
has a jacket on. Maybe some gloves. Depending on what type of parent you are.
Yeah.
Depending on what kind of parent you are. He's in a burlap sack.
Shorts. Good luck, kid. Get hardy.
He'll learn. I don't know. It's probably all bundled up. Make a snowman
Yes.
or something. Snow angel. What the kids do.
All right, cool. So for you guys, we'll jump a little bit to later that night. You guys are enjoying a dinner, most likely. Who prepared it, or did you guys order in?
I probably made something. I don't know what. I made nondescript food because I didn't think that far.
Wiener Schnitzel. It's Germany, right? That's
Specifically,
immediately what I think
I
of.
mean, your husband is.
Wes asked for casserole.
Yeah, your husband's American.
It's not much. It's not much.
I think I get divorced in real life now. Fuck.
Yeah.
I will make the most American casserole I can.
That would
Cheese.
be wonderful.
Cheese and beef.
Yeah, that's really all that. That's all that it
And
takes.
peas.
Bisquick. That's it.
But nonetheless, as you guys kind of have noticed throughout the day, you're both suffering from a slight high fever, around 40 degrees Celsius.
Is Henry okay? Is he normal?
Yeah, he seems fine. Checking him, he's a correct temperature.
Do you think we ate something last night? I'm just like sick.
I don't recall you ate much.
Yeah.
Unless you ate after the party. Passed right out.
I woke up with a fever though. Unless someone got it from me.
It's probably just the weather. You don't dress warmly enough. I'm not worried about it. It'll pass in the morning.
Alright, we'll see.
Henry's legs just dangle from the chair as he pokes at his weird American meal.
Beef casserole.
I want Wiener Schnitzel.
It's the only thing I know how to make.
Wes is just now remembering that he actually fucking hates casserole, but it's fine. He's gonna eat it. He's not like a pig eater, but no, he does not like casserole.
This is a
But now it's
allegory
about
for his
pretending
marriage.
He does, yeah.
Yeah. Can I like sense motive? to
Hans
see if
would
he
say
likes my
something like that.
This reminds me a lot of our marriage.
I thought I wanted it. It's
That's
bland and boring.
Steaming pile of shit.
Yeah, all of that applies.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. We have boring ass casserole dinner. I put the kid to bed probably. It's probably a night. Unless anything eventful happens.
No, yeah, I'm not. It's a good night, actually. Despite the fever and some itching in some of your extremities, things are fine.
Cool.
Everything's fine. Things are great.
It's perfect.
Perfect. Fine. Fine.
All
All
right, it's
good.
fine. It's good.
Fine.
And are you guys sleeping in the same bed tonight?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because we hate each other.
Be wild.
All right, you guys both.
Feeling adventurous, like being within 3 feet of each other. Whoa.
You
I
guys.
turn to face you in bed, but I'm still on the other side of bed. But I'm facing your direction this time. Mind blowing.
Staring at him.
I'm still facing away from you.
Mood.
I'm sweating my ass off. This fever.
Yeah, and the itchiness. Ugh. It's kind of gross. It's kind of gross.
Pretty gross.
So yeah, you guys all enjoy a lovely night. Except Wes, why don't we give you a keep it together roll? So it's 2d10 plus your willpower.
All right. This is the D10. This is the D10. Nope, those are D100s. I had D10s.
It's still a 10-sided dice, Eden.
It is.
It's not, but they start at 0, so I'm not. I'm just
It's different.
still.
It's
It's
zero
not.
would be a 10.
It's different.
You're
I got a-
pretty.
I got a 0, which is a 10, and another 0, which is a 10.
What?
Ooh.
No. No.
The first time we roll the correct dice in this game, and it's fantastic. If
It
only we could be
is.
like this all the time.
Yeah, I don't like it. All right. You wake up in the middle of the night. You feel not like yourself. You feel like you've just spent the last hour running away from something. Something that's been chasing after you. It's dark inside. Your eyes are slowly getting accustomed to the darkness with a slight bit of light pouring in from the outside street lights. You are straddling Sabine, looking at her with what you feel is anger, as if she's the cause of your running. And you can feel your hands kind of reach out for her, but before it gets to her neck, you realize where you are. You are Wes Davis. You are in control. This is your wife. Whatever nightmare you had has no implications for the real world. You are safe. This is your home.
Yep, I spring up out of bed as soon as I have my wits about me, thinking to myself, "No, I'm in control. So I go up to wash my face in the bathroom, and I don't turn the light on. I don't want to wake her up. And as soon as I look at myself in the mirror, it's like, am I really in control? I'm gonna wash my face and then go out on the porch to smoke a cigarette in like 3-degree weather.
Which kind of balances out since you feel so hot anyway because of the fever. You feel, though, it has gotten a little bit better. You still feel feverish, but it's not to the same degree as it was when you first went to sleep. Sabine, you wake up a couple minutes later to an empty bed.
You can probably see me smoking from there. Small apartment.
Yeah.
Outside window.
Probably join you. Might as well. I'm already awake. It's wordlessly chain smoking.
Yeah.
My childhood now.
You okay?
Yes, the I'm just gonna point to my sweaty forehead, the fever. Now I'm freezing my ass off. You're not cold? I put on a jacket. You probably didn't.
So I did not put on a jacket. Just fucking suffering through it as you do. Is my fever still persisting, or
Yeah.
that's still happening for me too?
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably fine.
My skin's all itchy. Keep scratching it. Just
Same. Do you have to go to a doctor or something? This keeps up. Oh.
I'll wait it out. Sorry, it happens to me every year. Now I'm just being quiet and weird again. I'm staring at the thermometer outside, hung up on the brick, like wall right by the lamp. And I'm trying to convert from Celsius to Fahrenheit in my head because I haven't fully. And you can tell because I'm just staring at it, like trying to do the math. I'm like, is it 9/5 or 5/9?
I'm just gonna
It's cold as
finish
shit.
my
No matter, yeah.
Yeah.
finish my cigarette like you Americans with your stupid fucking system. Fahrenheit and shit. And we go back to bed.
All right, Wes. Well, when do you go back to bed?
Oh, well, I'll give it about 15 minutes.
All right, excellent.
Just make sure she's asleep. I'll take a look out at the harbor. I don't know. I don't understand geography. I'm assuming there's water nearby, and I'm looking at it.
Yeah. Either the image of the green light just beyond the harbor that you can imagine from the fiction you've read, or just kind of visible between the glinting reflection off of a couple of windows. You can almost see the flickering of waves in the distance. Either case, it probably brings you some amount of comfort, knowing that whatever connects your home to this place is not too far, at least in theory. Maybe that's enough for Wes. Maybe it's not, but it's time to go to bed either way.
Well, my hands are shaking, so yeah, I'm gonna get on the other side of that screen door, and I'm just gonna go back to sleep. Hang up my ashy bomber jacket. Smells like death. Boom, 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 boom.
All right, the morning rolls around without any more distractions. What are you guys up to? We'll go to Hans first.
Did I still have my fever and I slept through the night or got through the night, correct?
Correct. Your fever has lowered a little bit, but it's still in a concernable level.
And I'm still itchy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I done caught the clap. Hans is pretty sure he done caught something, and he's a little like bound to catch up with me at some point. This is I have penicillin. I'll take penicillin. He'll be throwing aspirin and penicillin at it. He has this on reserve. Like he's like, this is, old hat for him. But no, he has also had a night of sweating and smoking and being quiet. But in the morning, he would he does work, but he will call into work and say that he is not feeling well and that he can't come in.
Oh. There's obviously kind of like the typical and then the moving on from the situation as they have to figure out how to figure out the rest of the day. But nonetheless, you have your day off.
Yeah. He would figure out quite quickly that he doesn't really this apartment has barely nothing in it, and he's kind of kept it that way. He has run out of coffee, so he is going to go to a local cafe and pick up some coffee.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
All right, you're going to go pick up some coffee. It's probably right across the street, just down a block. this quaint little place that has some, let's say, French themes to it. Very well decorated with flowers, obviously taken care of by the owners. Opened up early every day because they get those who are coming in from their night shifts, who want to stay up just a little bit longer to enjoy a wonderful whiskey or a bourbon, or those starting their morning shifts even as early as 4 a.m. But you step in. There's no line, but you can smell the wonderful aroma of baked bread, and the woman behind the counter, Wilma, we'll call her.
Guten Tag. Guten Tag, Wilma. He is kind of digging around for his wallet, and he'll make an order, an Americano.
All right. And she takes your money and pours you. She probably waits for you to sit down and then brings a cup over to you. As she pauses briefly to check in on some bread.
He would ask, "What have you been baking this morning? What smells so good?"
Oh well, it's just the morning loaves. I generally sell them to local restaurants. It helps me keep the lights burning in this place.
Ah, well, it smells delicious. Can I buy a loaf?
Oh yeah, of course. I keep forgetting your name. I know you've probably come in here maybe once or twice.
Oh, you have a good memory. Hans.
Hans. And she extends her hand.
He'll extend hers. He's wearing gloves, so he's not going to give her the clap. Because that's how you do it. Right? Shake her hand. Yes, I come in here often. You have a very nice cafe. It always smells delicious as I walk by.
Oh well, thank you. It's actually a dream of my husband's. He loves Germany and always wanted to come here and explore the avenues of German coffee, so to speak.
German coffee. So you're not from Germany. Where are you from?
France.
Ah, that would make sense. Ah. Oui. He would, I'm not going to because I don't know French, but he would say, something in very broken French of, that is very good. This is a very lovely cafe.
Oh, thank you.
Très
bien.
Très bien. Okay, yeah. Your husband, is he also from France?
No, German.
He is native German.
Yes. Let me get that loaf for you. And she gets into the back, and after a couple minutes returns with this hot package and places it on your table.
Husband?
It's not a husband. It's a loaf of bread, which is it's very useful.
Good. All right. He'll thank her and pay her, and yeah, just say, if I appreciate your attentiveness and your attention to detail. If you should see anyone, that doesn't look like they belong here, can you please let me know?
I'm sorry, what do you mean by that?
German, it is a difficult language. Don't worry about it.
Okay. You say that, but now I'm slightly concerned. Mr. Hans.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. Everything's fine.
All right.
Your bread is lovely.
Thank you. All right. And she kind of steps back a little bit and goes to tend something that looks like it needs tending, even if it doesn't.
He is kind of wiping his brow and is like, what the hell am I doing? Like, what the hell am I thinking? He's gonna drink his coffee.
Read the newspaper or anything like that?
He's he'll have the newspaper in front of him, but he's people watching. He's still a little freaked out that he was followed and that, although he is deviating from his normal schedule, which is something that he was taught to do, he is still in a place that he frequents, so he's a little on edge.
That's fair. People come in and out. Actually, any one of them could be looking for you.
They could be. And he's itchy. He's very uncomfortable. But if nothing happens, he will, after, I'll say about an hour or so, he'll get up to leave.
All right, cool. Where are you heading?
I don't know. He doesn't know. He's not feeling the best. He's going to take a walk, and he's going to take a walk that will lead him by water or something, since there's water here. And he's going to just take a walk and try and clear his mind and evaluate if he needs to go to the doctor to get anything else for this fever.
All right, excellent. So how about Sabine and Wes?
How are we feeling in the morning?
Slightly less feverish, but nonetheless, still.
All right. It's a work day.
Always.
Well, I guess I'm going to work, which means, Sabine, are you going to work?
I'm stay-at-home mom.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Always at work.
Well, I'm going to eat a soft-boiled egg for breakfast because I'm gross, and then I'm going to go to my job at the embassy.
All right. Your favorite friend.
Your favorite egg cup? Is that how... I want
No.
to have a favorite egg cup for this Monday egg.
I mean, he probably does. No?
No,
Monday egg.
that would just be admitting defeat. Person.
But nonetheless, your favorite member of the secretarial staff greets you as you come into work.
Catherine?
Yep, wearing a beautiful,
Roman.
if not slightly suggestive red dress, undoubtedly waiting in the perfect spot to garner your attention. Greets you as always and provides you your mail.
I'm gonna be polite, but I'm also not trying to get in any trouble, so I'm just gonna pretend I was waiting for something urgently in the mail. Say, thank you, Catherine, and I best get to it.
All right, why don't you roll keep it together?
Cool. I'm a married spud. Oh! I got a 10. Let's see how it goes.
What the hell?
Oh, I can put my camera on it next time. I got a 3.
So what's your total? Plus your willpower.
Yep, plus my willpower. Character sheet. I have so 14 total.
Okay, excellent. The effort to resist is still as a condition, which remains with you until you have time to recuperate. um, so, I'm a married man. But there's some slight slipping in that mantra running through your head. My suggestions are you can take the guilt-ridden condition, or become obsessed or distracted. Um, what do you think?
Well, I have a really long, boring day ahead of me. So I'm not guilty of anything on this dynamic yet. But so far, I would say distracted. I have a mountain of paperwork, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah, and throughout the day, she keeps going by. Mechanically, you're suffering a -2 in situations where the condition will limit you. So you're trying to do work today, and it's distracting. It's very.
I'm also already guilt-ridden from last session, I believe.
Yeah, that's passed on. You've slept. You've actually recovered that because you did not fail your previous keep it together and potentially choke your wife. So
okay.
You feel like you have successfully fulfilled that.
I didn't choke you to death, so I guess I don't feel guilty anymore.
Thanks, Boo.
I'm not saying I'm a great guy or anything, but there's worse.
It's true. How about you, Sabine? What's your day look like?
Make breakfast for the child. That's the thing that happens. Probably run any errands that need to happen either. I have to still keep up the stay-at-home mom thing. You can't just fake that. I feel like Sabine would be the kind of person that would totally just like have other mom friends, but they're not friends. She just uses them during the day, like, oh, it's playdate day. You're gonna take little Henry with you today, right? It's gonna watch me today, so then she can do her actual job.
Yeah. I mean, so during that playdate, there is quite a because there's always that one person who's there for all the gossip, and it's probably you as well. But one other individual, as you were approaching, looks like has brought into the conversation your very intense conversation with a woman a night ago at the awards.
What about it?
They want to know who she was.
Are they talking about the end of the night conversation?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, why are you all paying attention to me? I'm the board thing. She would have no reason to hide. That was her biological mother. First time she actually met her. So.
It's a shame.
Oh.
To not know your mother?
Yeah, we have catching up to do. But I'm glad it finally happened.
When are you gonna do that? I mean, you gotta do that quick, or they're just gonna move on from you again. It's not like they haven't done it before.
Yeah. Well, she knows about Henry, though. She's interested in getting involved in his life. I'll probably keep her around longer.
Hopefully.
We'll see how
All
it
I'm
goes.
saying is you need to make sure that happens. Because otherwise, sentiment is sentiment, especially when alcohol is involved.
Yeah.
Sabine, I'm just looking out for you, okay?
I mean, I appreciate it, as always. But we'll get there. Might be planning a trip to go visit her bookstore. Let's see.
Yeah, you should definitely call her.
It'll happen. I have some errands to run, though. Have fun watching kids.
Bye, Sabine.
Goodbye, whatever your name is. I don't know your name. You never picked one.
You probably don't know her name. You're just like...
Bye, darling.
Yeah, it's always darling. They probably don't know yours either.
It's fine. As long as they know the kids' names. It's fine.
Pretty much. They're like, oh yeah, that's Henry's mom. And walks away.
Yeah. And I'll probably quick run errands and then actually go do my job. See if anyone needs anything.
Always.
Nice.
And it's a pretty productive day. Despite the itchiness and the fever. It's a little gross now and then, but
It'd be like that.
yeah. Later on that night, what do you guys do?
Well, Wes, how was your day? Do anything fun, productive?
Productive, yeah. Fun. Not so much. I won't bore you with the details, but it looks like our embassy is selling off property. Strapped for cash, and U.S. Embassy in Berlin is far more important anyway. How about you?
I ran errands. Took Henry to a play date. Monday one. Talked to some moms, interesting stuff. How was your male friend?
Pardon?
Your friend from the mailing thingy. I don't remember her name. You told me about that. You're just like, I don't know who the fuck she is.
So, you're asking about Catherine?
Yeah.
Couldn't say she said much to me. It's a busy office.
She doesn't really say much. She just kind of shows. From what I noticed.
Just handed me paper with my name on it. And shit written in German. That's about it. And I'm walking over to the closet where I keep my smoking jacket. As a sign of like, are we gonna fight? Because I'm just gonna go smoke.
I'm just trying to pay attention to things in your life. Just walk away. It's fine.
I'm not even gonna bat an eye at that. Just gonna keep walking.
Just going outside to smoke.
Yep. Look at the water. I like looking at the water.
I put extra salt in his food when he's not there.
You put extra salt in a lot of things.
It's on brand. And then I just continue on with a normal night.
Yep.
All right. So sometime like around 7:30 p.m., there's a ring on the phone.
I will answer the phone.
Ring, ring.
Does it sound exactly like that?
Yep. Ring, ring.
Slightly German.
Ring, ring.
Wes, what do the American phones sound like?
Come on, Massachusetts.
It's actually the exact same. It's the exact same recording. It sounds sort of like a young man doing an impersonation of a telephone ring, old style.
It's very specific.
Ring.
Not appreciative. Yes, I do answer the phone though.
How do you answer?
Hello?
Hello, is this Mrs. Davis?
Yes.
Hey, this is weird. I'm Irene Adler, a friend of Magda's.
All right. Something wrong?
Well, I don't know yet, but I'm very worried. We were supposed to have lunch, but Magda never showed up and didn't call me. It's not like her. She mentioned she met you on Saturday at the award ceremony. I thought maybe you had heard something from her.
I haven't.
Oh. I hope nothing has happened. Magda seemed so upset after she came back from Berlin.
Do you know why?
I probably shouldn't get into it.
I feel like if anyone should know, it's also me. So if something's up, I would like to be able to help.
If you could just check on her, or I don't know if maybe you. I don't know. I'm sorry for wasting your time.
No trouble.
All right. It's good talking to you, Mrs. Davis. And
Yeah. I was very confused now.
then.
Who's that?
What was her name?
Irene Adler.
Irene Adler. I remembered that. Apparently, my mother was supposed to meet with her for lunch and didn't show. I'll dial Magna's number now. Probably as I'm explaining that bit.
So you dial her number, and it rings for a while, and then you hear you have reached Magda Orvolo's answering machine. Unfortunately, I'm not in right now. If you want, please leave your name, phone number, and a short message. I will get back to you as soon as possible.
I'll just leave a voicemail. It's the Beans. Wondering if you wanted to discuss getting together sometime, catching up, and maybe meeting Henry soon. Just give me a call back at insert number here when you have the time.
And hang up.
555 something.
8675309. No. Okay.
Just, wasn't really expecting anything from that. So I'm just gently confused. I don't even know who the other person was. Good. All right, that's certainly a thing that happened.
Think she's okay?
I wouldn't know.
She's pretty frail lady.
Apparently she's upset leaving Berlin. That's what her friend said. She wouldn't tell
Any
me.
idea why?
No. Huh. Maybe she'll call back in the morning. We'll see.
Does she live alone?
Do I know that?
No.
I don't know then. Or she doesn't live alone. I don't know if that was a I don't know or if that's a no she doesn't live
Oh,
alone.
you don't know.
I will be honest. I have no clue. I've met her once.
I hope she calls back.
It'll... More awkward silence ensues because that's just how it be in this household.
Dudes.
All right. Excellent.
What time is it? Sorry.
It's probably like 9.
About to say it's dinner time.
I would assume it happened a little past dinner time.
Yeah.
It's the 90s. People, old people, eat around 6 and go to bed around 9:30 or 10. Yeah, like responsible adults.
Can't relate.
So
This is Germany, though.
I'm still
Oh,
yeah,
true.
responsible. I'm still feeding Henry though. 'Cause he's stubborn, and we didn't really enforce good eating habits growing.
Because we don't have good eating
Bad.
habits, that's why.
But we're figuring it out. We're figuring it out.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. It'll be
Yes.
fine.
Yes.
Clear.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that night, it's a weird night, no doubt. for all three of you. In some way, the nightmare feels familiar. You see yourself as young, a child even, trapped in a dark room, lying on a hardwood floor. There are no walls, it's just darkness, the hardwood flooring extending out to nothing. It is bitterly cold, and there's frost and dripping water. An unpleasant, sweet smell hangs in the air. The darkness surrounding you is so dense you can almost touch it. And then you almost sense something moving out there. Something that you can only vaguely sense. Scraping and hissing. Circling you. Forcing you into a corner. And then just like that, it's the morning time. Sunlight drifts in, wakes you up, takes you away from the nightmare and back into what you hope is real. So, you have some options. There's a phone book, which does list people's addresses. I don't know if you guys remember the phone book.
Never heard of her.
And it also has people's numbers in it as well. If you're curious about Irene Adler or visiting Magda's place in person.
That was a crazy horse stream.
I won't see. I don't. I wouldn't feel paranoid about her until at least the afternoon or evening. I don't think anything's wrong.
Go back into the work, try to have another normal day. Hopefully not quite as distracting as the previous one.
Yep.
You try.
I would probably try and stop by during the day. I have time.
Are you going by yourself?
Yeah.
You tell me you're going, you're just going.
I'm just going.
Are you taking Henry with you?
Okay.
I probably had another play date lined up. I'm friends with so many different moms. I just always have a time where he's out doing something, and I can listen to what.
Those aren't play dates. Those are just dumping your kid on groups, and then.
Well, the thing is, you make friends with different groups of people, so they never know you're just constantly dumping your kid
Yeah.
onto other people, so they don't talk to each other.
We're not great parents. Good parents, not
you
great.
don't know about it.
I still know we're not good parents.
You just know Henry does stuff.
I feel like sometimes you just look at your household while everyone's eating and you're like, yeah, we're not great parents.
We suck.
How about Hans?
Oh man, Hans.
Yeah, it's a creeping feeling every day as the walls feel like they're closing in on you.
They are.
Knowing that you're always one misstep away from a prison cell, you'll never see the light.
A gulag.
Yep, gulag.
Gulag. To the gulag. How's he feeling?
Itchy. In
Itchy.
different places too now.
Oh man, that's not good. He is not okay with this.
The clap spread.
Yeah, he has done caught a thing. He would go to the clinic. He would go to a clinic. He would go to a German clinic and ask for a STD test.
All right.
He's right. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can attest to that in the 90s.
There's you are met with a very gossipy doctor who has all sorts of questions about your activities.
Yeah. Um, he would answer them very curtly and not try and go into number of partners or anything like that, knowing the reaction that he gets when he does.
But there's no issue. Come back negative. They do based on your fever. They just kind of over the counter stuff. Nothing more than that. And, a couple days it should clear away.
Does he have a rash?
No, there's no visible reaction, but which kind of makes it difficult to communicate.
Okay, so during this visit, he will kind of ask, have you doctor, have you ever had or seen these black boils? These what they call the like marks, like boils.
Moles?
Not mold.
Moles, yeah.
No, niet. They are like almost burns, but they are black, and they smell. They drip. They are quite horrible.
All right, what's your point?
Have you ever encountered something like this? Is this something that you know of?
Yes.
What is it?
Is it something you have?
No, it is a family member, a close family member has it.
Well, it really depends. It could be. I'd have to see the patient, really. I can't really. It's not good for us to speculate on such things without first seeing the patient.
I understand. But it's not something like the bubonic plague or something like that.
Oh, no, it shouldn't be. No. You should, if your friend has this issue, you should really bring the individual in. Whatever reason you have of not, I suggest you overcome it.
Yeah, he is a stubborn person. He perhaps I can convince him, but
just remind him that death is most stubborn of all.
He is he would find that amusing. He would get up and collect his things and then leave.
Good. You tell this young man to come see me. I mean, only a fool doesn't seek out medical help. You go tell your fool of a friend to come in.
I will do that, doctor. Thank you.
All right. He heads back into his office.
Yeah. Hans will take a moment and kind of smile, but then head off himself.
Heading off.
What time of day was this again?
Let's say afternoon.
Afternoon. All right. He will. I don't know what he's gonna do. He's gonna.
So if you're curious about who could have given you the whatever this is, I mean it's
the clap. He is very screw this doctor. He is absolutely certain this is the clap. This is what this is. He's pretty sure that he caught it from. I don't have his name written down. What's his face? That he.
Oh, your friend.
My friend. Yeah, my friend. That he is pretty convinced of that.
I mean, it could be him. It could be the Davises. You spent some time with them. There's even Magda. who did come recently from Berlin, which is, who knows what's going on over there. And Wes, he's an American. Like, who
The
knows
hot one,
what
yeah.
what gross things are coming over from America.
That is true. That is true. From Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being attacked.
You weren't here earlier when you were actually being attacked. You're
Yeah.
fine.
This is your punishment for
Yeah.
being late. Yeah, so he's going to be walking and thinking about this and trying to, figure out what's going on. And in the back of his mind, he is still, uncertain as to if this could be linked to his partner and his dark secret with all of this. He is going to go and try and seek out Magda.
All right.
He knows her, and he knows that she is the link between him and his former lover.
So, you could easily find her apartment through the phone book.
Mm-hmm.
But we will skip on over to Sabine. You arrive over at Magda's apartment in Hamburg. It's, of course, listed in the phone book. It's a 5-story tenement building. It's by the Lübecker Straße in the Hohenfeld district, near the center of Hamburg, facing the street.
I definitely remember that.
Write it down. No, I'm kidding. The apartment itself consists of what you can kind of see 3 rooms on the ground floor with like gardens and stuff. Pretty beautiful place. Though to gain street entrance, it looks like you need like a key or a security code. There's also like a little entry phone that you could use.
Well, try that one first.
All right.
Not trying to do anything shady.
When you try to call in Magda, there's no response. But maybe you could try a neighbor.
Sure, why not?
All right. You hear an older man say, "Hello."
Your face is everything right now. I'm sorry. Hello, sir. Do you know if Miss Magna Orlova's home right now? She told me to stop by, but she didn't give me the code to get in.
Let me see. You kind of hear in the background. Yeah, someone's asking about Magda. That eccentric woman? Yeah. It's one of her weirdo friends, isn't it? Yeah, probably. Let's happen. Okay. Hello? Are you still here?
Yes.
I'm gonna let you in.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go in, and then Naruto run all the way up the stairs. Eventually.
And yeah, there's her door right in front of you.
Alright, now I have to get in. I'm gonna knock. She's just waiting. I'll say hello as I'm doing it too.
Yeah, there's no reply. It's just hollow, empty echoes.
Is the door locked?
It is.
That makes my life more difficult. Is there a front desk or something I go down to and just be like, that's my mom's place?
There's most likely a tenant on the bottom floor who probably has access to it. Hans, we'll say about this time is when you approach on the outside exterior of the building.
He would take a look at the front door and see like all the stuff. He would try the front door actually to see if he could open it.
It's locked.
It's locked.
Mm-hmm.
he would try Magda's number first.
Actually, in Sabine, you hear like a ringing in the telephone.
From inside her apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, but no response.
And no one is coming in or out of the door right now, correct?
No, not
He
presently.
kind of wait. Yeah, he kind of be like, can I sneak in?
I'd also make my way down because I'm also curious of who's trying to get in. Plus, I want to go get a key. Anyway.
And there's someone you recognize, Hans.
So once Sabine comes down or he's able to see her, he would kind of look up and knock on the glass and try and get her attention.
I should go open the door.
All right, cool.
Not really questioning it.
Yeah. Hello.
What brings you here?
I am actually here to see Magda. Perhaps you are here as well for that.
No, she doesn't appear to be home.
She doesn't?
No, but I got a call from her friend saying that she didn't show up for lunch. And she didn't answer my call.
When did she call you?
Yesterday.
What was her name?
Let me go to this Google Doc.
Irene Adler.
Irene Adler.
Irene Adler. Interesting. Do you mind if I have a look at just around the apartment, or?
Oh, feel free. I've never even been there.
Oh, really?
If we can get in.
Oh, I think we can figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
Hans would make his way upstairs
Mm-hmm.
and check the normal places that people keep keys. Under mats, over things.
Just all the usual places.
Yeah.
There is no mention of a key.
Can I use Weapons Master? Just blow it up.
Bam.
Haven't used anything yet, so. All right, there is no key. The door. He'll try the door and feel if it's something that he thinks he might be able to pick the lock for, or do something shifty.
Oh yeah.
Mood.
You're pretty confident you can get through an apartment door with your background and training.
Yeah. He'll look to Sabine and say, "If you don't mind, I could try
I
and
hand you a
open it."
bobby pin.
He'll take it and smile and be like, "Yes, we are two peas in pod." And he'll try and open the door that way.
All right, it cracks open.
Damn straight. Thank you. He'll hand back the bobby pin and
Probably fucked up, so I just put it in my pocket to wait later.
He will kind of slowly open the door and let Sabine look and everything and kind of peek his head through and he'll check to see if there's any other signs of forced entry or something that would show that it was rummaged or attacked.
I would probably be taking kind of the same stance as you, probably unexpectedly knowing how to look into a place before you go fully in.
Yeah, you guys check around. You are looking down a hallway. Mail and newspapers lie in piles just inside the door. You see on your right a closed closet door, and several kind of surreal wooden cutouts decorate the walls, depicting merged half-human, half-fish figures. A pair of gloves and a train timetable you see rests on a small table in the hallway that you see right before you.
All right. He would cautiously make his way inside and wait for Sabine to do the same. And kind of push the mail with his foot and try and get a grasp of how long he thinks that the mail has been collecting.
So it looks dating back to the day that you guys met Magda.
Yeah.
So Saturday.
It looks like the mail hasn't been picked up since Saturday. he would check the whatever doors first. I think it's maybe the closet. He would gingerly open the closet and take a look in there.
All right. So it's a walk-in closet. You see winter clothing hanging there, scarves and caps. Fill an old computer box. You see boots and shoes line the wall. A couple of boxes are leaned against the wall, each one closed. Yeah, that's about it.
Are there any, like, if there's a row of shoes, are there any, like, gaps in the shoes showing that they were missing, or any?
There was one gap of shoes missing.
Okay. Let me think. Are there any jackets missing?
There are a few hangers that don't have any coats
Okay.
on them, but it's hard to tell if they were holding something up.
Okay. He would look at Sabine. You said this is you haven't been here before, correct?
Yeah, I've never been here.
Do you know much about her?
Mitchell, how much do I know about her?
Your mom, your birth mother, not much beyond kind of what you heard. I mean, yeah, you were looking forward to knowing more about her, but other than like owning a bookstore and being kind of someone known in the literary circles, and having an apartment and place in Berlin, don't really know much about her.
The next thing I want to check, like, where her phone is, if there's any like, voicemail stuff.
So you're
Like,
going
collected?
further inside? Because the hallway leads further. There's a door. As you're peering down the hallway, there are two doors to your left and one door to your right, not including the walk-in closet that's immediately on the right once you step in.
Alright. Well, we'll get there when we get there. We're clearing rooms now.
Yep. That's what he's going to actually be doing. He'll with Sabine, he'll go down and start to clear these rooms as he has been trained to do so.
All right, which one first?
Oh, so if he's going down the hallway, he's got two on the left.
Mm-hmm.
He'll take that first left and, cautiously open the door and, kind of peer in, maybe reaching for something towards his side, but he doesn't bring it up. Maybe.
As you
Weapons master.
move in, you see this dark, small figure, very tiny, disappear into the shadows as you guys enter. The kitchen counter runs along one wall while the other has a pantry, fridge, and freezer. A simple folding table and two wicker chairs sit by the window. And you see piles of dirty dishes are stacked on the kitchen counter, and the sink is filled with rotting food. Greasy paper is scattered across the floor. Stinking garbage bags are heaped against the wall. You see 20 discarded frozen dinner boxes are stacked against the microwave oven. The wall almanac is still turned to the previous month.
The thing that darted across, does it look small like a rodent or bug?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Looks like she has not been, or somebody has not been caring for themselves for quite some time.
Clearly.
I knew Magda in Berlin. I knew her bookstore, and she was always a very careful and clean woman. This is unusual for me, for what I know, which is not a lot of her habits.
Alright.
She was.
Sabine's just kind of like, I'm trying to process.
I can do it.
Making sure there is like there's no set of footprints or anything like in the garbage stuff. All right.
Not so far. Also, Wes, you get a call.
Pick it up.
So one of your co-workers chimes in from the other side. He's like, "Hey, Mr. Davis. So I was out at lunch today, and odd thing is, I saw your wife. I'm pretty sure it was your wife. Gesture for a man to come into this apartment with her. Now I'm sorry to be a bearer of bad news and all, but you know, if you're gonna marry a foreign woman, you know, you really got to do all you can to make sure you keep your house on
What did the man
lock.
look like, if I might ask?
Oh, you know, like dark hair. I always hit this mic every. Dark hair, pretty good looking, but you know, not like. You should be concerned, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna bluff something here real quick. I'll have you know that that's a good friend of mine.
Ah,
And what you're doing right now is not only disrespectful, but it's insulting.
look, Mr. I'm really sorry. I thought I was looking out for you. Obviously, I overstepped my bounds. Hey, I mean, I wouldn't let my wife meet with whatever you do in your household. That is up to you. Um, I mean, if you're still curious, I can give you her address.
Why not?
All right. And he lists an address. Sorry again, Mr. Davis, and hangs up.
And I'll just like mutter under my breath. Who the hell is that? Oh man, I just didn't want people to think my reputation's important, even if
yeah.
So I was just gonna pretend I knew. I have no fucking idea who this is. I need a map.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Can I look up the address in a phone book?
Yeah, I mean, you have secretary, you have your staff. You could...
Okay.
Oh, the 90s are hard.
Nobody near me. I'm just gonna look up the address.
Yeah. You recognize it, and yeah, it's, you know, you could probably get there in a 10-minute drive.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna check the time.
Yeah, you haven't taken your lunch yet, so hey.
You know what?
Treat yourself.
Going to lunch. Put on my trench coat. Tell the receptionist. Going to lunch.
All right, Mr. Davis, you have a good time.
All right, and I head over. I eat my sandwich on the way.
Yeah. I love this because it's perfect as you kind of head out and get into your car. The rain starts coming down, and you know your windshield wipers are going on as you're going through the streets of Hamburg with your sandwich kind of intermediately reaching your mouth and chewing on it as. And you're still what?
Driving in the rain. I should have called the sitter.
Where's Henry? Where's Henry?
We're good parents.
Where is my son?
Yeah, and you have to use your right hand because obviously, what is it, manuals back then? I don't think they had any automatics. Maybe they did,
yeah.
but they weren't. They were expensive.
Are you driving with your knee, like your knee, and then one hand on the stick,
Yeah.
and then you're eating a sandwich?
Hell yeah!
That's how you do
The
it.
coolest thing was
On the Autobahn.
God.
Not on the Autobahn. You're like in
Yeah.
the city.
Yeah. So you reach the location. You know, it's this 5-tenement little apartment building. Your sandwich has been devoured.
All right, find a place to park.
Yeah, you can park on the side, just on the street.
Okay. I get out of the car. Head to the front door.
All right, it's pouring rain. I assume you're prepared enough to have an umbrella. Or
Nope.
maybe you're,
Nope.
yeah,
Why not?
you're just out drenched.
Yep.
Who are you trying to call on the little phone?
I have a phone?
No, the phone for the
Okay.
the building.
Hell yeah.
Get your flip phone out.
Well, that seems to be just the problem is I would have no way of knowing which room it was.
The address has it. Yeah. It's like room such and such.
The names on the side.
Right, but the person on the phone wouldn't have known what room they went to.
No, that's fair.
So I'm stuck.
Just call them all.
Man, well, I'm trying to think what I can do here at the door.
Are there names on the side of like when you have the old buzzers have the name on the side?
Oh, yes. I'm gonna read the plaque. I'm gonna read. Yeah.
You do. So you see Magda. Orlovova. Orlovo. Orlovova.
Magda Orlova.
Yeah, Orlova, as well as a couple other names.
Okay.
Getting the mom involved. Interesting.
There's no way that's a coincidence. I'm gonna call it.
There's so many fucked up things happening.
They
right
really
now.
are.
I'm gonna call.
Yeah, so this is perfect. As you guys kind of are moving through the kitchen, you hear a ringing that almost makes you jump just because the air is so tense as you're moving through.
Yeah.
Dring, dring,
This
dring, dring.
Fron, do you want your point to Sabine and be like, do you want to try and answer?
Y'all trespassing. You can answer
We
a
really
phone.
are.
No solicitors, please. Bye. I guess.
It might be a friend or something. It might be somebody else that we could ask.
I'll just pick it up and say, for Loba residence. Like, I don't
Wow.
know.
You're just gonna hear a recognizable, drawn out sigh of relief. But not total relief because not everything's really explained.
Yeah, where's your kid?
And I'm just gonna say, and here I thought you didn't stick with your maiden name.
I just Hans, see my face just go, oh.
Then I immediately realized that I didn't come up with a covered idea of like why I don't have a story for why I'm here. Well, I
bring Hans over to listen to it, just quietly.
I figured I'd come over to check on her. Seems like you beat me to it. Well, how is she?
Why don't you just come up? Or are we just gonna talk through the phone? You can stay outside if you really want to. I won't stop you.
Oh no, that's
It's horrible.
fine. Yeah, I'll spare the pneumonia. Ring me in.
Yep.
I do that.
The door goes "Brr," and opens up.
I turn to Hans. He asks, we had a key.
We had key.
He doesn't know much.
That's the Massachusetts, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I don't know why he's here.
And you come back up the stairs to the room where the door is open.
Okay. And the first thing you can hear me say is just as soon as I see Hans, I'm just like, oh, okay.
You don't know he's
Massachusetts.
gay,
No, you don't. Massachusetts.
Oh, not at all. Okay, but at least I recognize him. I know that he
Massachusetts.
I know that this has more to do with Magda than it has to do with this mysterious Hans.
Hopefully.
character.
The things we tell
We-
ourselves.
Things don't move that fast in 2 days.
Oh. Oh. Challenge accepted.
Scaring shit out of me. Um, where is she?
That is the question.
Yeah.
We are looking, as you can see. However, we have not found very much. Looks like there has been mail collecting since Saturday, since the event. I think we were just about to try her bedroom. If you'd like to accompany us.
No,
Aren't you
I'll be
supposed to
fine
be at
here.
work?
I had a change of heart. I took a lunch break.
Okay, cool.
Passive aggressive as fuck.
All right. Well, let's do the bedroom. Hans would kind of move over and open up the door to the bedroom.
All
The
right,
bean would be by
so you guys had to go in order to go to the phone. You had to come back out of the kitchen,
Yeah.
make a left down the hallway. So you're going on down the hallway into the living room. Since you guys are there right now, just kind of describe it. You see the TV sits in front of this pinkish red sofa. The remaining walls are lined with bookcases with glass doors. They contain a broad collection of encyclopedias, nonfiction and fiction books. A graphic print hangs over the sofa depicting a frozen reaper staring out over a barren landscape. Two half-dead yucca palms sit on the windowsill. A glass door leads to the balcony outside the apartment.
Jury painting. It's great. It's great for kids.
And you also see a key hook on the wall, which contains 4 sets of keys.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna grab it.
All right. So you see a plain key that looks like it's paired with another. A key ring with 2 keys. And then a what looks like a car key. And then one more key that's marked Irene.
All right.
All right.
I'll point out to Hans.
Mm.
It's either a spare key or her actual car key. We have it now, though.
Yeah. Wonder why she did not give it to Irene. Her name is on it. Interesting. The other keys, do they look like they could be for like a cabinet or a clock or anything kind of recognizable? Or just
they look for the first couple ones look more like apartment keys.
okay.
Yeah.
He would look at Is the ground carpeted? Or
Hardwood floor.
Hardwood floor. Any sort of tracking, any sort of marks, any sort of like shoe marks or anything?
No, not so much.
Okay. On the glass on the bookcases or whatever, any sort of fingerprints, anything smudging?
There are some. Yeah, it's it looks like it's been used.
Okay. All right. I guess if we're not, finding anything, we continue on to bedroom.
All right. You guys open up the bedroom slowly. You see an unmade bed. It rests against one wall. The wardrobe door is open and half its contents have been thrown on the floor. Some 20 earplugs lie on the mattress, crumpled as if they've been used. A dead ivy hangs in the flower pot set in front of the window.
Immediately go over to the ivy. No, not really. Did your mother have a problem with hearing?
You said they were earplugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
When did she? I don't know. She had a problem sleeping. Maybe she thought she heard something.
Mm.
That's the only logical thing I can think of. But I don't know.
Yeah. Is there any sort like the wardrobe has all the clothes hanging out? Are there any sort of luggage bags hanging around?
No,
Mm.
those are
Is there
absent.
anything on like her dresser drawer? Oh, not her dresser, her like side table drawer.
There is nothing on it besides a lamp.
Anything in it?
No. Look, I mean, a couple of like what looked like medicine bottles, but no information printed on it.
What kind of medicine bottles?
Would I be able to identify this medicine?
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing left in it. It's just the bottles.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. What are you doing, Ian?
What would it take for me to realize that it's sketchy that they're in this building and she's not?
I mean, I feel like the way they are proceeding in this very cautious, almost investigative manner, should fire up some what's going on here.
Okay, yeah. So I'm not with them. I'm just in the living room, just kind of looking around, glancing at them. I realize, catch myself trying to figure out why this person's missing. And then I have to pause for a second. It's like, why are we investigating? We're not private detectives. So I start to feel a little weird. I'm going to call out, just kind of forcing it to seem casual. Just like, hey, so was the door left open?
I'll look to Sabine.
Just kind of poking around.
Get your man. Just kidding. He doesn't say that. Go get your boy.
I'll probably. Oh, he's like, you good checking everything in here? Just quietly, real quick, before I step out.
Yeah.
Step out. Onto the. There's a front desk, right? Is there a front desk, Mitchell, where I would be able to procure a copy of a key?
You thought that there might be a tenant down below who could have access to such things, but you never followed through with it because you saw Hans.
I'll go with that. The tenant gave me a copy of the key.
Has anybody seen her lately?
No, all I know is she's supposed to meet. Insert friend's name here. Irene Adler.
Irene Adler.
How long ago was that?
The call last night, remember?
Doesn't look like she's been in here anytime recently, has she?
No.
Does she have any pets?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like plants is what she was trying to keep alive, and
There's a mouse in the kitchen.
it's Hamburg. Everyone has that.
Why don't we just we can file a report. Just play it safe.
I'd rather no. I'm not saying we can't file a report later. Might as well check now. We're here. You let us in. It's not a big deal. Unless you don't want me to find out things about my mother. It's fine. I get it. I'll probably check the clock too to see when he should be going backwards. Break.
Davis, you have like I mean you probably generally take an hour lunch, but you're in a position in the embassy where you could take a longer one. Most of the time be like, yeah, I went out to talk to such and such, or yeah, they're pretty lenient towards you. You do a good job, and they're not too worried.
I noticed you were looking at the clock, and I'm gonna say we closed on the sale this morning. They don't need anything for the rest of the afternoon.
Wonderful.
Look, I'm sure everything's fine. Don't get worked up. I'm actually gonna plot myself on whatever piece of upholstery I can, and then reach for the nearest newspaper or TV remote.
Yeah. There's the couch, and right in front of it a TV. There's no TV remote, but you can kind of lean forward and turn on the TV if you want.
Oh man.
Okay. It makes a joop sound.
Yeah.
That high pitched squeak as it comes on.
Yeah, all at the same time. Really? Ready? 1,
Yep.
2, 3.
All three of those different speeds.
All three of them different. Yeah. Somebody remix that.
Not wrong.
Yeah, I was like, okay, he's entertained.
Hans would be after Sabine left would be like,
Wait,
yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna stop and go turn around. How'd you know I was here?
Hmm.
Like there's a coffee table. I'm sitting on the coffee table, just like looking at him.
And I'm not looking at you, and I'm just gonna say, I didn't. Had a change of heart. I know where Magda lives. I wanted to check on her during my lunch break.
Is there a sense motive I can do?
Read a
Perception?
person.
Read a person.
Yeah, it's your roll plus intuition.
Okay. Plus intuition?
Mm-hmm.
16.
Ooh, you get to ask Ian 2 questions, and he has to be honest.
Well.
Is there a specific list of questions I can choose from?
Yeah, like, are you lying? How do you feel right now? What are you about to do? What do you wish I would do? How could I get you to ... question mark? Are some of the things they suggest.
And I have 2 special ones because I'm an extortionist.
Oh my god.
First one's obviously, are you lying?
Yeah.
And I'll do the, what do you want me to do or wish for me to do?
What do you wish I would do?
That one, yeah.
Shut up about this.
Not call me out on it. Just not in public, not in front of
Hans is in the other room. It's fine.
Leslie, man. Just not call me out on it. It's not start this shit. If we're being honest, that's what Wesley wants. You know he's lying, but you also know he doesn't want to be caught in his bullshit.
Yeah, you kind of get this sense of him as you're looking him over. And you said you have 2 extortionists?
I have 2 questions I can choose. It's what are you afraid of? What's precious to you? It's like, it's fine.
You already know.
Later. Yeah.
Oh, that's a colossal yikes.
So yikes out a note for me, dog. But yeah, no. She'll give you a look like she knows for a fact you're lying to her. When you're ready to tell me, we'll be in the other room. On with the TV. Go hang with Hans.
Yeah.
Heading back into the bedroom with Hans, she goes.
Mm-hmm. Hans would have started to go through the drawers and the wardrobe and the closet during this, although there would be some pausing to kind of overhear what was going on, because there's a little bit of curiosity, but he's just kind of laughing.
I'll like gently close the door. Like it's not completely closed, but like enough that it'll muffle sound if Wesley's trying to be a shithead about it. But
yeah. He'll continue to be like going through his stuff. Has he found anything thus far?
Nothing in the bedroom.
All right. I'm not seeing anything.
Like my marriage.
Bless you.
Bless you. That was so cute. Yeah. You're so cute, Mitchell.
Okay, I muted that so no one else would hear. I forgot you guys could still hear it.
On the ear or the ear thingies, is there any blood on them or anything?
No.
Okay, good. No. Any other weird art in here?
Not in here. No.
Okay. All right. I'm not seeing anything. This is unusual. Was there any luggage in this room whatsoever?
No. Everything looks gone.
Okay. I don't. It looks like possibly she packed in a hurry. That maybe somebody went through her things. Interesting.
There's also 3 more rooms that you haven't
there's
been
more
to.
rooms to check.
All right. We keep going.
All right, the next room is the toilet. The bathroom cabinet contains several packs of soap, different ointments, and numerous perfume bottles. But the room hasn't been cleaned in some time. It's kind of gross.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew. Sabrine, you go check this.
Thanks.
No.
Is there any meds in like the bathroom at all?
Not
or
in
just
this
normal
one.
shit?
But there's another bathroom on the other side. The one that you guys went to first is pretty much just a toilet, while the other one's actually like a full bathroom. And there are 5 empty Valium boxes in the medicine cabinet. Empty
Okay.
packets. Huh?
Oh.
Oh,
Sorry, I was just gonna show on the box.
Empty packets of clozapine and olazapine lie on the floor. Yeah.
What are those?
There is, as you say this, you see a medical handbook
Oh, thank
on
goodness.
the office
Oh.
bookshelf.
Oh. Hans will quickly pick that up and flip to the
Yeah.
page that says what it is.
They treat symptoms of schizophrenia.
Hmm.
Stacked on the bathroom cabinet and littering the floor are empty packages of liquid soap. A plastic laundry basket is overflowing. Dirty clothes are strewn across the floor.
First does do you know if she has and don't no, I hear everything, it's fine. Problems with drugs or anything that you know of?
I know nothing.
Hmm.
You probably know more than I do.
And that is not very much.
And I'm sorry, was it all prescription stuff too? Like it was
Mhm.
actually all labeled in prescription?
Hard to say.
Does like I said, do you know if she had schizophrenia or anything that was that you remember?
God, I don't even know what I remember. I was probably a wee tot.
Yeah, you definitely don't remember much.
All right. Well, we keep this in back of mind. Is there any sort of blood on any of the things that are lying about?
There is not. Yeah.
Any other sort of gross things?
Nope.
No. Noobs. Okay. Well, it is good that there is no blood. Doesn't look like there was a struggle or anything.
Yeah. Only so far. We still have one more room to check?
Yep. You guys come into the final room. It's a office. A desk with a IBM personal computer is against one wall. 2 bookshelves are dedicated to medical literature. Another shelf has books related to Russian literature, history, politics, and economics. Dirty glasses cover the desk surface. A table calendar to September 12th. Is set to September 12th. A phone answering machine sits beside the computer. The answering machine's light is blinking. 1 blink for each unheard message. A door leads to an empty balcony facing the garden.
I'd like
Well,
to listen. Oh,
no, go.
oh, I was gonna listen through some voicemails.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, coming over as you guys kind of get a better look at the calendar as you're looking at the phone or about to check out the message. There are no notes in the planner after September 12th. Over the first 2 weeks of September, there are 8 different meetings, recorded detailed names, addresses, and phone numbers.
That is unusual.
There are 4 messages recorded on the answering machine. The first one. Hey, this is Radar Schonberg from the Welt Zeitung. I'm still waiting for your article about the lobby groups. Have you sent it? Please call me. The second one. Philip here. Something horrible is going to happen. Call me. Number 3. This is Radar Schoenberg here. We have postponed the article until the next issue. Call me once you get home. 4th. It's Philip. You've got to call me soon. It will be too late.
I'm gonna look through her planner and see if I can see any Philip in there that might.
Philip, am I nearby?
Yeah, you can hear. Yeah, the office is actually adjacent to the living room.
I'm just sitting there watching TV.
But the names do not correspond to anyone who is in this answering machine.
Say, Philip.
What?
Yes, Philip. No last name.
What about that boy, Philip Kramer from the
Who
other
was
day?
that? Was that the guy?
I
Who's that?
also do not know who that is.
We don't play.
So Philip was one of the people who was with Magda.
Philip Kramer. He was a musician or a painter. I can't remember.
What did he look like?
Friends with Magda.
I don't need to know
Can't
what they
say
look
his
like.
face is-
Yeah, you can describe his face.
Okay. Which one did he look like? What Mitchell? Which one was he?
Who?
Who was Philip again? Like, what did he look like for real?
Oh, yeah. So Philip Kramer is a painter of some talent. Kind of has a darker set appearance. Very lean. Has this kind of artistic air to him, that arrogance sometimes that shows its face.
And you remember him, Massachusetts? Do you remember where he, anything about where he lived or how, his relationship with Magda?
Yeah, no. You pretty much remember
Can I
he's
look him up in a phone book?
just the name of the table.
yeah.
Look, if she's got voicemails from him, apparently she went missing that night. He's her guy. I don't.
Quite possibly. It does not look like she is, if she did return here after that night, it was not for very long. We could try and look at phone book for address. Do you have much experience with computers, Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Yeah, some.
Could you do the honor of trying to boot this one up? I don't know why you would say that. That's not what we say.
So
Turn on. Make turn
Hans,
on.
Hans is a good-looking guy, right?
Yeah, he's good enough.
Enough that I would feel intimidated.
Yeah, you should.
I ought to, because not if questions really haven't been answered here, and I was called out on my shit, and I didn't want to be called out on my shit. So I kind of don't want to look like a chump, like it's not the season to be a little bitch. So I'm actually gonna do it.
Okay.
Probably because
Take a look at it.
Sabine knows about Hans, or inferred due to prior situations, and isn't really afraid to get close to him. She's not intimidated by that fact at all. So, she's, reaching over and being in close proximity with Hans, not an issue for her.
Watch your out for
Great.
your husband. No.
Yeah, so I'm gonna power the thing on.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Doo-doo.
Windows XP.
We tried.
Yeah, we tried.
Pre Windows 98.
And Sabine, you're looking through a phone book for
Screaming
Philip
binary.
Kramer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do not find him.
Was there like a date when these voicemails were left? Like around the same day, different days?
Different days. Yeah, they look one before the party and one after.
While he's doing the computer, Hans will look at the medical books that are around and see if any pages have been marked or anything like that.
Several have been marked, but none that kind of jump out as like different.
Okay.
She was a learned person, so
She was.
yeah.
Any other weird art in here?
No, this place is pretty tame. Wes, as you have booted up the computer and looking through of it, you don't find much information. There are several files, articles written for various professional journals in Germany. The address book lists 240 people, including, the 3 Russians, Philip Kramer, including the others, with addresses and phone numbers, the ones that came with Magda to the party. The same index list addresses for a couple of different unions, associations, and organizations. Yeah, that's about it. One particular one is weird, the Slavic Association.
Slavic Association.
What did you find?
Well, it turns out the password was password.
It was written down on the index card.
Yeah. Set to the side.
Yep. See for yourself.
Does the Hans recognize like the Slavic Association like as a intelligence person or anything like that?
No, not in your circles. No.
Okay. All right. And has he heard of the other Russians in her group?
No.
Okay. Well, at least we have address for Kramer. The Slavic Association, I'm not familiar with that. You work for embassy, correct? He's gonna look at Wes.
Yeah.
Does that have any meaning for you?
Depends on what you mean by meaning.
Embassy people, things about gatherings and groups. That is something on your radar, we will say. Slavic Association, does that ring a bell for you?
Does it?
Mm-mm.
No.
No, does not for me either.
One of the bookshelves is filled with, like you said, Russian books earlier.
Let's see.
Or did I just totally make that up?
No, Russian literature, history, politics, and economics.
Oh. I can barely read that.
Sound it out.
No. Is there any, like, I'm also, like, just kind of trying to look for documents. Honestly, just anything. Because it looks like an office area.
Yeah, there's some picture or papers and such, but all of them are kind of just in reference to her work and articles she's written about. Nothing stands out as odd.
Well, Hans will take or write down Philip Kramer's address, as well as the names of the other Russians, and just jot Slavic Association ?
Yeah, they all reside in Berlin.
That's convenient. We're in Hamburg though.
Mm-hmm.
And then anything on radar show Nürnberg.
You do get the address. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I do not know much more than before we came here. It does look like that she is either left of her own volition or has been taken. I think she probably has left. It is up to you. You are family. You would like to continue digging. Perhaps going to authorities may be best. If not, I can assist as much as I can.
You guys hear some rustling at the front door.
Ah, shit. I just dive through the window, whatever.
Yeah, I turn off the computer immediately.
Hans will kind of like.
We didn't do anything wrong.
No, we absolutely did not. We
Just
did not
checking on an elderly woman.
She's your family. You're fine. It's all good. Hans will kind of straighten up a little bit, and
is there a peephole in the door?
I fluff a pillow on the couch to make sure.
We didn't actually close the door.
The front door we probably closed.
Yeah, probably after Wes came in.
All right.
Yeah. So you guys come out to the living room to look at the front door?
Yes, Hans will.
Yeah. It looks like a couple of more envelopes have passed through the slot onto the floor.
Hans will cautiously move over to the envelopes and look at them.
All right. As you're looking through them, you find 3 letters and a postcard which have been forwarded from an address in Berlin. The first letter is return address Alberto Mirandola, Barcelona.
Alberto, what are you doing here?
You're not supposed to be here.
No.
He does what he wants. Are you going to open it?
No, he would take it back to Sabina. I don't feel comfortable opening mail. You are family. You're kin. You can take a look at this. Hand it to her.
Does it look like it's a normal letter? There's nothing weird about it?
It's an address from Berlin.
Yeah, the forwarded address from Berlin, which, could mean that she has an address there, or that there's another relation there that would want to forward their mail.
I'll open it.
All right. It contains an inquiry regarding her purchase of a rare Russian dictionary from the 1700s. Another letter from the same forwarding address from Berlin is returned address Arnold Weiss in Berlin. I assume you open that as well. It is
all my stuff just froze, and I was so concerned. I was like, oh God, what's happening?
Tornadoes are happening.
So I heard the second forwarded address one. That's it.
Yeah, it's from Arnold West. Return address from Arnold West, Berlin. Opening it is a short personal letter stating West has recently returned from his trip to Italy. He wonders if Magda plans to stay in Hamburg, as Arnold will be traveling there in a couple of weeks and wants to meet. The third and final letter is return address John Masterson, London. It is an invitation to the British Authors Congress autumn meeting. The postcard has no sender addressed, which is the final item, but is stamped by the post office in Frankfurt an der Oder, Germany. On the back, sprawling handwritten in barely legible Russian reads, I have seen him. HIM is capitalized. It is signed Piotr.
Oh, Lord.
Can I read that with my broken Russian abilities?
Yeah.
Does Wes know Russian?
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna share a look with Ulf. I noticed that Hans can read Russian. It's like,
Do you know Piotr?
do I know Piotr?
Yeah.
No.
Well, that does not answer anything. This is mystery gets deeper, no?
I'm just debating whether or not we should get authorities involved. You don't know what's going on.
No, it is up to you. It is your mother, it is your family. He'll look over to West. Or West, not West. West.
Probably, because I realize you can read Russian. Probably just like in shitty Russian, just be like, I mean, we've broken. I don't know if I should tell Pookups that. I haven't thought my way out of that one yet.
Hans will respond in Russian. I don't know much about keeping relationships, but it might be better for this situation to keep all parties involved, and he seems smart. He might be able to help. Also, your Russian is good.
Okay. I'm like, I know you're lying. Thank you. Wes, what do you think we should do?
I think we need to file a report if someone's missing.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
And it will be done eventually. Do we have to roleplay going to like an office? Like,
Can we call the police from here? Like, can we just dial German 911?
Hello, police.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't exist like that yet.
It does not. It does not.
Yeah.
Dial operator.
You have to burn the house down to get any sort of.
Oh, from the landline.
Uh,
Just tell them you got the key from the front desk. You went to check on your mother. And what have you found?
Cool.
You're like, yeah, cool. Word, cool. That's about as innocent as it gets.
Yeah. So if
all right.
if she does contact the police, Hans is gonna kind of like, dip out a little bit. He's not doesn't.
You ain't a part of that life.
If I had a moment aside though.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, I do want to look into it on the side. So
Here's
anyway
number. Here's my number.
Mm-hmm.
You make your help or you do his speaking about Wes, you do his thing, file a report, see what happens, but when you're ready to go and dig a little further, give me a call. I'll be here.
Do I know Russian?
Pleasure working with you, Hans. I'm just giving you a nice little
That's a
handshake.
good question.
Handshake.
Do I can know Russian?
Quick skedaddle before he figures out if he knows Russian or not.
Ah!
And then we're there. We told some people.
All right. You still do have the forwarding address from what you believe to be Magda's Berlin place. Might be worth checking out. Who knows?
Let's check there next.
There's
Or I kind of want to see. What? Sorry,
3 hours, 17-minute drive to Berlin from
Well-
Hamburg, going east.
Oh, I don't know Russian.
Ah, ha, ha. Ha, ha.
We're not going there today.
You need
we'll
to
see where
find
the police will handle this for now.
You need to find a play date group willing to take a kid for
4 days.
Yeah.
A week. At least a day. Yeah.
That's how Henry was adopted.
It's probably for the best.
It is.
Fair.
I feel like after that we'd part ways. I don't know if Wes would go back to work.
Well, the police are. What happens when the police come? Like,
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna stay for the police when they come?
Hans will stay until after they make the call or something, but he's gonna leave before they get there.
How about you two? Staying or?
Are they asking us to stay and talk to us, or are we allowed to skedaddle? Are we allowed to be like,
I mean,
this
they're
person's missing?
yeah, they're curious about who's putting the call and why.
I'm not sure they're not
Wes.
going to do anything but knock on the door and see if she's here. It's not going to make a difference if we're here to let them in. They're not even allowed to search the place.
They might want to. Am I here? I don't know.
Well, I mean, we haven't. I don't know if we've actually called yet.
Okay.
We're talking about call. We're all standing around the phone.
Yeah, like, they will want to come in and probably look around and do exactly what we just did now. Will they find anything? Perhaps. Probably not. They will. Just knowing, how police services work, they'll do some searching. They'll do some calls. They'll probably investigate the people that are in Berlin. After that, if they do not find anything, there's probably just put on back shelf. That is my guess as to that. It is up to you.
Let's call and see what they find out by themselves. I want to see how good they are.
All right. I'm peacing out. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, yeet.
Yeet.
So you head out and you call the police, but do not stay for questioning.
I don't plan to.
Just
Wes
anonymous,
plan to?
an anonymous tip.
From inside. The call came from inside the house.
Terrible.
Wes can stay. Wes can do it. He's the clean dude, right?
U.S. embassy person found in house of German missing lady.
Husband of, the daughter of, though. That's, not horrible. I don't know. You probably killed her.
Came over to the apartment after
Yep.
finding out his wife was with a man.
Yeah, I had to change of heart, I wanted to check out, see how it went. It's fine.
Fast.
All right, so we'll move forward a couple of nights actually. The police investigation never goes further. There's no evidence that Magda was taken or is missing.
Right.
During this time, this couple days, I have to read their ability, make sure I got it right though. I want to see if I can get someone from the street to gather more information about the Russian men and also Magna.
Ooh. All right, I'll let you learn about one of them.
Alright, it's an ability called it's an ability called Streetwise. Whenever you want to acquire items or services from the criminal underworld, roll plus charisma.
All right, roll it. And which one do you want to learn about?
I want to learn about her first, so I can just get facts straight since I don't know her.
Get my facts straight.
Get my facts straight. Alright, so it's spicy.
Spicy.
It's so spicy. 18.
Ooh, nice.
Give me
Lord.
the information.
Yeah.
All right, how much
Charisma's my best skill.
How much information does it say you get?
For Streetwise, it's no problem. You get what you're after, and someone will fix you right up.
All right. Someone's coming.
It's not Hans.
Hans!
Hans!
He just appears at our house one day. Wes is coming home.
Hello.
I have returned. Yeah, I just be doing that during my quote-unquote day job that doesn't involve a child.
You know, the normal stuff. How about the rest of you guys?
How's our sickness? Are we all still sick?
Yeah.
What? It's horrible.
No, I made a doctor's appointment then. Check out the fever.
Is
Check
Henry okay? Like, it hasn't spread to him or anything. It's just, as far as I know,
Henry's
it's just
fine.
Wes and
Yeah, it's just you two.
So I'm
I.
just.
Well, I know you didn't give me something.
I need a doctor. I feel like shit.
You are a child.
Yeah, I mean, when you go to your doctor's appointment, it's they give you some pills and such, but they pretty much say it's like a fever.
Shit, it's a fever, doc.
Actually.
So for Sabine, you find out in 1958, Magda leaves a mental hospital and moves to Berlin. While in her mid-20s, she settles within a certain district and starts working at an antique bookstore specializing in Slavic literature. It is believed she had a brief relationship with Philip. And, in fact, is rumored to participated in founding the Slavic Association. In 1964, well, actually, 1962, she is committed to a mental hospital. In 1964, she is discharged from the hospital and returns to her former job. She marries Lev Orlov, which is the bookstore's owner, the Slavic bookstore, and moves into a large apartment in Berlin. Over the next few years, it's pretty quiet. And then sometime around 1968, Magda is institutionalized again after coming upon a death. In 1971, she is discharged and reopens the bookstore. In 1972, she is arrested. 1977, she is released from prison and deported to West Germany. 1978, she opens a new antique bookstore in West Berlin. 1980, she moves to Hamburg. She earns a living as a freelance journalist and political reporter. And then 1990, she returns to Berlin, following the fall of the Berlin Wall.
That a lot.
I think I paraphrased that well enough for myself, or else I'm just gonna watch the video again.
Yeah. That's perfect about this. But basically, you see a life filled with peace, mental institution, peace, mental institution, peace, mental institution, peace, prison, some peace.
Can relate.
Wait, hold on, we should figure out what year I was born. Fug. Also, if I take notes about this, since I know that Wesley doesn't speak Russian, I'm writing it in Russian. I'm practicing.
Aww.
But he doesn't know.
You're
Cool.
writing Russian letters to Hans.
You should feel super intimidated. Fug. Oh,
God.
apparently I was conceived while she was in prison, by the way.
Ooh. I
So we're aware.
You a prison baby. Wes, that explains everything.
Your dad was a prison guard in Germany. Fuck.
It was a conjugal visit. Don't worry about
Don't worry about it. It's fine. All fine. Hans is drinking and sweating because that's what Russians do when they're sick. He's going to try and sweat out the fever.
All right, it's the weekend. Anything you guys doing?
He will call Sabine.
Hello.
Hello, Sabine. So I've been thinking, I don't have, a lot in my life right now. I have a lot of free time. I think a lot. I do a lot of thinking. Why don't we take a trip to Berlin? You can bring his name, Massachusetts.
Wesley?
Yes. He's smart.
Does this call happen over the weekend?
We'll say like
Probably right before, yeah.
like right before, trying to like plan out.
Oh god, everything froze for me again, so I don't know what's happening. Let me fix
This
this.
always happens when my thing dropped. It would just freeze.
Oh yeah, there she goes.
Aw.
Ha!
Poor Leah.
Ha!
Ha!
Ah,
I can
Ha!
hear people now.
oh,
Okay.
we can't see you. You're like awkwardly taking up Wes's part of or Ian's part of the screen with like your big eyes.
It's
I don't
just
know how I dropped.
just like the
though, 'cause
marriage.
You can still hear. You guys appeared for me again.
yeah.
It's working. I'm here. I'm Wes Davis. I'm from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
I'm sorry. When did you call me?
Right before the weekend. So trying to plan what we're going to do for this weekend.
I feel like people listening on the podcast are gonna lose a lot of references.
Yeah. Come watch us. Stop listening. Come watch. No, continue listening and watch, please.
Do all the things.
I'm sorry
I
for this
wouldn't
accent.
be opposed, but I don't know if you know this. I have a child. They complicate things.
I hear that they do. I would not know.
That's fair. Don't ever.
Don't worry, not in cards. Perhaps you have perhaps you have friends or another family. Perhaps Massachusetts has family. You can get them to do the thing that the babysit.
You might be able just to hire a sitter for the weekend. I'll talk it over with Wesley. We'll figure it out.
All right, let me know.
Catherine's a babysitter.
Oof. Oof.
Not in my house.
Not in this house.
But I will give Hans my address though. Pop over.
Yeah.
Party time! Oh my god.
Oh my god. Drink
So
some.
you're inviting Hans over during the day while Wes is working?
Ooh.
I don't know yet. I was like, if you think of anything, you can always stop by too. I need to go do stuff. I'll talk to Wes about maybe getting a sitter or finding someone to watch Henry for the weekend.
Excellent. That is good.
Keep in touch.
Will do.
That's what phones sound like when they turn off.
Beep, boop, boop, boop.
Hans unfortunately doesn't have any of his old contacts, and he would not really want to try and dredge those up. Yeah.
I don't know how I'd go about this, but Sabine's planning to be gone for part of the weekend. She want or gone out of the city for a bit. She want to make sure that the house is probably fine and that no one would show up.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. if no one's there, don't worry about it.
You can always find a
I don't know.
house sitter, like a babysitter and a house sitter.
I'll look into that during the day before fucking Wes comes back.
Yeah, you got money. I mean, Wes, between you and Wes, you got pretty.
He doesn't know about my part of the money.
You got
my
money.
money.
Yeah.
I have to plan in the family budget though, because
God.
he doesn't know.
Fuck
Don't worry
outta
about
here.
it.
So messed up.
What? I mean, if you lose your job, we're fine. But I'll also probably divorce you. Don't worry about it.
Say psych right now.
Say so now, right?
Say psych right now. Okay. Yeah, Wes would have no issue with hiring a sitter.
He can pull out his own checkbook.
All right. Cool. Sounds good. So you guys are set to take a road trip, it sounds like, to Berlin.
Just road trip of people. God, yes.
Yeah. Are you guys both sitting in the front seat and I'm taking the back seat? Is that what's happening?
Well,
Who's driving?
first, let me
first, yeah.
let me get a keep it together from my main man Wes.
That's a 3.
Cool.
Oh, honey.
That's a 6.
All right, excellent. Thank you.
Do you have any will?
Yeah, +1. So we're looking at 10 total.
One more than I have.
Can't really.
So you got a total of 10, right?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Why don't you give me a engage in combat roll? So you're having another night of nightmares right before the trip. You don't really remember it, but you feel this anger building inside of you. You know that you're having some sort of nightmare, but you're so out of it you can't really control. It's partly you know where you are, but you don't really, and everything's just kind of moving about. So yeah, what'd you get for roll violence?
Oh.
Or engage in combat, sorry.
Okay, let me roll that. I got a 3. And I got a 6.
Ooh.
And my violence modifier. What am I adding? +1, so 10 again.
Okay. All right, I love this. So Sabine, you wake up to Wes kind of screaming, as he rolls on top of you, and you go out to scream, but you feel his fist come down right against your throat. And then both his hands just kind of start grasping it, as you see in his face this look of object fury as he looks at you without any sort of recognition whatsoever. You feel his hands tighten around. You can't scream because he just punched you right in the throat. Wes, you regain consciousness just as your hands start to lose their force as you turn to the side, and silhouetted in the door frame, you see Henry looking at you. What do you guys do? You have regained your senses, Wes.
Does he let go of me?
Yeah. Right
Okay.
away.
I kick him in the groin and go for my kid and grab him.
Yep.
And move.
I take that one. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit in bed in shock a little bit.
Bean's also in shock. So that's the first time that actually wasn't.
Yeah. First time you weren't lying about it, and you can't be like, "Hey, you actually did it this time."
She's probably like sitting on the kitchen floor with probably consoling a confused child. Not sure yet.
Yeah, he's just like, Mommy, why was Daddy choking you?
Why do you know the word choking? Be like,
Go into the bathroom. Wash my face.
Kids say the darnest things.
I just don't answer Henry. I'm just trying to figure it out myself. I'm like, I don't. This changes things. But Henry has his own room, or does he stay in our room, or does he?
He has his own room. It's right next door. It's a smaller room that's probably would have been an office, but Wes kind of enjoys a luxury office over at the embassy, so he can't take his work home because of the nature of the confidential files. But
the White House of Hamburg.
I will lock myself in Henry's room with Henry.
Sleep with Henry for the rest of the night.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Wes, what do you do?
Not sleep for the rest of the night. I'm gonna go fucking eat what the leftovers from dinner that night, and then sit and watch TV on the TV for a couple hours. Yeah, and then fall asleep on the sofa because that shit rocked me. I also don't know if she was planning on going back into bed or not. So
yeah, you probably fall asleep with like the snow on the TV when it eventually gets too late for anything really to be on.
It's not the national anthem. Not this nation.
Nope.
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Over to Hans. It feels like it's snowing in your room, but as you look at the falling snow, instead it's black, almost ash-like, but it falls on your cheeks like melted snow.
Do I know am I in my apartment? Does it look like my apartment?
Yeah, it's your apartment. Everything else looks normal.
I will go to my window to open it to see if like it's snowing outside.
As you get up, going toward the window, you see through your window on the porch, a figure kind of resting his hands on the balcony lining, looking out toward the water.
Do I recognize the figure?
You do.
Is it Ivan's?
Yes.
Okay. Hans will stand there for a moment and see if does he have the wherewithal to think that this is a dream?
Yeah. Feels like a dream. I mean, it's certainly not possible that it's real.
He doesn't know that. He's going to close his eyes and try and will himself to wake up.
Open your eyes. You still see him. Just puts a cigarette to his lips and breathes it in. You can see the smoke escape.
he will move his hands to the knob of the balcony and slowly open it and walk outside slowly and stand there for a moment and just kind of take the whole scene in, and then ask, what are you doing here?
I mean, have you seen the night sky?
He'll look up to the night sky.
It looks lovely. It's a beautiful night here in Hamburg. Some clouds in the sky, but nonetheless, despite the busyness of the city, you can still see some of the stars kind of coated through the light off in the distance.
No. I mean, what are you doing here now?
Sometimes you can't help but return to where you've always wanted to be.
Why? Why now?
Do you not want me to be here?
I always want you to be here.
And why can't that just be enough?
Because it's not real. It's not true.
What is real? What is truth but the things that we perceive to be? If you feel it, if it feels real, isn't that enough? I mean, is the feelings you have, is it any less real just because you know I won't be here tomorrow morning?
Hans will move forward and outstretch his hand to see and reach towards his shoulder to touch it.
You touch it and it feels like him. You can smell him. It kind of brings back memories. But as you put any sort of weight on his shoulders, it almost feels like ash, but melts against your touch like snow.
I don't know what to think anymore. I don't want you to leave again and again, but I don't want you not to be here.
I think you worry too much. I think you're stressed. I'm sad I left you in a time when I feel like you need me the most.
We don't get choice for when we leave.
Not all the choice. I think we get some choices. I'm glad I'm here now. I don't understand it. But if you're amicable, I'd like to spend the night talking.
Yeah, let's talk. So he'll sit down slowly.
He'll sit down too and light a cigarette and hand it over to you.
He'll take it and take a drag.
And it might be one of the best nights you've had in the long, long time. As you spend hours talking to him about things you've missed talking about, jokes that you had, as well as updating him on everything that has been going on. By the time morning comes, sometime in between it all, you close your eyes, placing a hand upon his. But in the morning, your eyes open, you can still see the cigarette in your hand, burnt out, as well as another where his was, but nothing left other than that.
He would just reflect on what all that was, and then slowly get up to get ready for the Berlin trip.
All right. Whose house are you guys meeting at?
Our house.
Your house.
So Hans travels over to the Davises' domicile.
Is this after the night of their incident?
Yes.
Okay.
So the babysitter has already come, an older nanny, well established in the area. Very curt, very professional. Takes over immediately. Also starts cleaning up the place. Of course, Wes looks tired in some parts. So does Hans, and maybe a little.
I think Sabine would have tried to cover, like if there's bruises. Yeah.
There is.
That shit with makeup.
Yeah, you can
Scarf.
pat it down to make it, match your skin tone and wear a scarf. I mean, it's winter time, so or fall, so it's definitely no one will question it.
Hans will Sabine.
Yeah, but there is that kind of difficulty talking at times, Sabine.
He would. Hans would know. Are you feeling okay? Is your throat sore?
Yeah, I had a fever for the past few days as well. It's not a big deal.
Must be something going around. I have also had fever, and this horrible itch, just annoying.
Also had an itch.
Huh?
Okay, Wes, put 2 and 2 together.
It's the clap.
Holy shit.
Okay. Does your son Henry have it?
No, he's fine. I'm glad, but yeah. Oh, you can meet Henry if you'd like.
Oh, yes, I will. Hans will go in and meet Henry, and he's good with kids and stuff, so it's not that weird. When he sees that's not weird. When he sees Wes, though, he'll Wes, you
Rubbing his eyes.
yeah, you long night, eh?
Yep. Drinking
Here.
coffee, eating a bowl of cereal.
Here, I have old family pick me up, we'll say, and he'll hand him a flask.
No thanks.
Oh yeah, fuck your. I forgot that you're recovering or something. Whoops. No, it's great. We'll just play it.
Hey, now that you're at your lowest.
Here, I help.
Here's your other vice.
Yeah, here's your other.
You had a bad day, so why not break a 500-day streak?
It's perfect.
It's fine. Yeah, no. He'll take it back and because he's forgotten at this point, so he'll take a long swig of it right in front of him.
Oh, it looks delicious.
I'll also hold my hand out real quick.
And Hans will pass her the flask.
Same.
Ooh, Wes,
long swig.
Wes, keep it together, Wes.
I got
Also-
a 3.
All right.
One.
Oh man,
It's fine. It's fine.
I hand it directly back to Hans.
Hans will take it.
You know what? It's a tough night. With that roll, I'm gonna say you grab it midway through, and it's a little happy time for you.
Oh man.
What? Oh my god.
Give me your chip.
I pull my hand. If he touches me, I pull my hand away immediately. I don't look at him. Also.
You drink
Hans.
some, and you probably feel a little guilty, ashamed from doing it.
A year and a half sober. Yeah, I would fucking say so. Ugh.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Holy shit. Well, let me just update my character sheet. 500 days sober. 1
With
day.
the strike through,
Yeah, strike.
through it.
God, I'm gonna have to like get rid of my chips and everything.
Yep.
Fuck, guys.
Maybe you shouldn't have punched me in your sleep.
Okay.
Damn.
Listen. God. All right. What am I gonna take? What should I take? I should take. What should I take for that?
What do you mean?
Do I still have distracted?
You don't have distracted, but you are, since it's kind of a life-changing trauma. So we're gonna put you at a -4 stability.
Okay. I'll just write down
Yeah.
relapse. -4 stability. Fucking hell.
Yeah, you're kind of on that downward spiral of
Yep.
I fucked up. I need this to feel a little bit better. I do, and now I fucked up even more as you continue to go down.
Man.
Woo. Okay.
Yeah. Well, now you got to pick me up. Hans doesn't remember.
He's just in between all of this like tension right now.
That's fine.
So my question is, you talked to Henry before leaving about what happened, or
Me?
he hasn't asked since last night, but he's about to spend an extended period of time with a stranger.
Yeah.
Might pop in your head to be like, huh.
Probably when like the nanny's not like out of the room, or like Hans is busy entertaining a child or something. Like Sabine will stand next to us, just like, "Do you want to talk to Henry or should I?" I couldn't. Not last night.
You should talk to him.
Alright. I go to the child. I scoop the child.
Big child.
I have child. I have acquired child
Child.
in
Right.
inventory.
I have obtained the child.
I will not take child to nursery. I do in little Asian. Same thing. You're fine.
So what do you tell Henry?
It's a great fucking question. Personally, do you remember what happened last night?
Mommy hurt?
I don't know how to talk to kids in real life. How are you supposed to have me talk to you as a fake kid, Mitch?
Right.
It was just an accident. I'm okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of reaches out to your scarf.
Yeah, it's kind of covered in makeup. I don't know how well I did.
It's decent, yeah.
Oh, I'm okay. Accidents happen.
He kind of just nods and stares at the hardwood floor as he just looks at it.
What a mood. Should probably try and distract him a little bit, like try to play with him during this part. Like, I'm redirecting emotions. Oh god, I'm the worst parent.
Read him a book, get him excited about his trip or his stay here.
Hanging out with the nanny.
Yeah.
I probably left her a list of his favorite foods and such.
Yeah.
All that good shit.
As always, when parents leave, the kid throws a fit, crying as you shut the door, leaving him to the nanny. But you can hear his cries down the hall as you head downstairs.
I'm sad.
It is fine. He will not remember this. He is young. You want another drink?
Maybe later.
Okay.
It's still morning.
And?
You got a point?
A point?
She's just readjusting scarf, probably.
Yeah, like. All right, you guys pop into the vehicle.
Who's driving? Whose vehicle are we taking?
I'll drive.
Drive? Okay.
I will sit in back seat.
I don't have that much to drink.
Hans will question, be like, do you take front seat? Is your car?
I'm also tired. I might take a nap, honestly.
Okay. He'll sit shotgun.
All right. And on that somber note, we are going to end it for the night.
Holla.
Holla.
Yeah.
Most awkward road trip ever.
Yeah.
It is. For those who stayed and watched, or you're watching on YouTube or listening via the podcast, thank you so much for spending this late night with us. It was a joy. My name is Mitchell. Once again, this is Penny for a Tale, and we are joined by Meleah, Ian, and Alex. You can, of course, find them on Twitch. No. Kind of.
You can find me on this.
Yeah. Always on this channel. You will definitely see us this Sunday as Ian continues Pathfinder, Hells, Rebels.
This Sunday is going to be pretty good, in my humble opinion.
Come
In your humble opinion.
watch. It's going to be amazing. I know it to be true. And then Monday, right after, we are playing The Witch is Dead with Spence as our GM. And then Tuesday, we are going for a much lighthearted shenanigans in the ever-loving world of Cartel.
That's my dance.
So thank you once again for joining us. We look forward to seeing you guys soon, and have a wonderful and awesome week. Bye.
Ooh.